Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am in New York City this week and also visiting Princeton, New Jersey. I used to live in New York City years ago from age 18 to 23 years old. It's been a minute. This is a city that really forced me to grow up. This is a city where I experienced my most Saturnian challenges in life. This is a city where I was homeless, where I was broke, where I felt rejection and disappointment, and also the most incredible feeling of aliveness. This is the city that I met my husband. This is the city where I met lifelong friends. And this is the city where I found myself and really learned about who I am, what I want, and what's important to me. New York City is a place that holds the most memories for me in my life. It is the city where I lost my dad when I was 21. This is a city that really challenges you and makes you become the person you are. And so I wanted to visit this city. I had to see the leaves. I had to see the autumn leaves in the fall. And since I was already in this part of the world, I thought, why not stay with my old best friend from college, spend a lot of time with her, and romanticize the simple joys of autumn in Manhattan. So without further ado, let's get started in today's vlog. I hope you enjoy, and thanks again for tuning in. We're going to be starting this vlog on the Upper East Side, which is my favorite area to explore these days in my 30s. I used to live in Brooklyn, New Jersey, Harlem, the financial district. I've lived everywhere and I've had so many different neighborhoods that have been my favorite over the different eras of my life. But at 30 years old, I have to say, I like the Upper East Side, I like the nice things, I like nice quality things, and of course, this is where the Christmas decorations are just so beautiful this time of year. But I spent a lot of my time based up here exploring the cobblestone streets, the brownstones, and all of the pumpkins that I could find. So let's get started. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't already, and be sure to check out my free guided meditations and journal prompts you can get for free in the link in my description. Little gifts from me to you. If you haven't followed me already on Instagram, definitely head over there at Ms. Helena Woods, and let's get started on this fun day and fun week in New York City.
Look at her dress, everyone. Miss Patina. Always Miss Patina. Look at all the cute dogs just walking around. So good. So we're about to go meet up with my mom-in-law, and we're gonna go to the Met. See some art, and then we're gonna walk around this area because it's such a beautiful day and the fall foliage is stunning. My intuition told me to come to New York to see the leaves in the fall, and so we're here. So everyone keeps stopping me, or not stopping me, but either stopping to compliment my boots or they stop on the street and point at them, and I just have to say, yes, they're from Zadig and Voltaire, so very cute.
kind of flooring is this, Candace?
Well, that's herringbone.
Herringbone?
Yeah.
Oh.
When it's just the patterns.
Patterns here. Okay.
Chevron.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't notice these things.
Yeah,
You've got an eye. Candace needs to go into interior design. Let's encourage her, everyone, in the comments down below.
And that's like the wainscoting. Like
That's what?
Wainscoting.
Wainscoting?
Like the moldings.
Oh.
Picture frame moldings.
What kind of flooring is this one?
I don't know. It looks like it was just made out of the herringbone.
Oh,
and
okay.
Designed to look like this.
Candace has a great interior design blog if you want to follow. I'll include
And
the link down
the
below.
stain too is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful here.
We just had lunch with my mom-in-law, Karen. Took her out to lunch, treated to Italian food, and the people come prima ristorante on Madison and 70 something. But we had dinner. It was really nice. The people there that had the restaurant, they're Italian. They all spoke Italian. The food was real Italian. It tasted like it was from Italy. It was very good. Really nice to see Karen and just have some girl time, you know? I think having girl time, friend time is so important to prioritize. And, you know, I don't have a lot of friends. I have a few friends that I'm really close to. And for me, being able to see friends and make time to see friends on my travels is really important to me. And it's really nice. So, Candace and I are walking on Madison, going downtown. We're at 66th and Madison right now on the east side, the Upper East Side. I love this area so much. So many people have been pointing out my boots and saying and complimenting on them. But this is my favorite part of town. Over the years, I've always had different areas that I love most. Like, I lived in the financial district for a year. I lived in New Jersey. I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in Harlem for years. I lived on West 135th and Broadway for years. So I've always had favorite neighborhoods. Yes! So, but this is my favorite area now. As an adult in my 30s, Upper East Side's my favorite area. Madison and 60-something, that's my favorite area to explore. Dear God. Look.
Why don't you make an appointment?
Absolutely not, Candace. I'm never getting on Ozempic. That would be like, no way. I love food way too much. I don't want to feel nauseous, you know? I love food way too much. I blame you. I blame you, Candace. You showed me this coat and I fell in love with it. And I put it on and the way you looked at me, you were like, oh my God, girl.
In a few years, if you don't want it, you can resell it.
That's so true. You can always resell. It's an investment piece. morning. Alex, I just called you Alex. Candace and I had a delightful brunch at, what is it called, Candace? Maman, here in Princeton. Beautiful, beautiful little town, Princeton. It reminds me a little bit of Old Town Alexandria in Virginia, which is a town that I lived in for a year and a half. It's so cute, cobblestone streets, little Americana brick buildings. It's just absolutely adorable. We're gonna go walk around and explore, and I thought I would share with you the fall foliage and the beauty of New Jersey, because the Garden State does not get enough love, and we need to give some love to the great Garden State. I love New Jersey. Always a pleasure to be back. Let's go! So I was just telling Candace about this movie called Mac and Rita, which I really recommend you see. It's so good. But it stars Elizabeth Lail and Diane Keaton. And it's this movie that I so relate to. When I saw it, I was like, I finally feel seen in my life. But in the movie, Elizabeth Lail is like in her early 30s or late 20s or something. But she feels like an old woman inside, or like an older woman. Like she feels like she's in her 60s or 70s, but she's young. And so all of her friends like to go out and party and go drinking and go out and all this stuff. And she just wants to like be like, you know, go get tea and coffee with older women and like read books and stuff like that. And then she switches places, or she becomes older, and so she becomes in her 70s and experiences life as if she were in her 70s. Such a good movie. It's one of my favorites. Candace is taking all these photos for her blog. Every time we hang out, she's like always taking photos for her blog, because yeah, she's a creative. You should definitely go follow her. I'll include her blog down below. But it's such a good movie, and it's such a good movie. It's one of my favorites. I highly recommend seeing it because I really relate to it, and I think it's just so good. That idea of like you can be in your 30s or your 20s, but you can feel like you're 60 or 70 inside. A lot of my friends and the people I like to hang out with, they're either my age but they act a lot older, or like my friends are in their 60s, their 50s, their 40s. They're just way older than me, and I love that because I just relate to older women a lot more than I do women my own age. Except like a few, like obviously my best friend here and a few people that I have in my... I'm just watching all these women walking around Princeton at coffee at brunch, and they're with their girlfriends, and I just been watching and observing them and just thinking like, oh, I can't wait to be in my 50s. I can't wait to be in my 60s. I can't wait to like, I don't know, just like fully live and be the age that I feel inside, because that's how old I feel. I know that when I'll be in my 60s though, I'm still gonna feel like my 20s and 30-year-old self. Because from what I've heard from so many of my clients, even as you get older, your soul still feels so young, but you're just in an older body. And so, yeah, it's just something to think about, something I'm thinking about. And yeah, Mac and Rita, it's a great movie. So cute. This is so cute, Candace. I love Princeton. This is adorable.
I don't want to say this is my biggest regret. I don't want to say that because I don't regret how my life turned out. If I didn't make the choices that I made, I never would have met you. I never would have met Alex. Nothing, like all the resilience and courage that I have within me is because of my first years living in New York, becoming homeless, like all the things. But I will say I regret not applying to Vassar. I regret not applying to Yale. I regret not applying to Harvard because I know I could have gotten in if I wanted to. I was a straight A student, founder of clubs and organizations, nonprofits. Like, I was such an achiever in high school, lead in all the school plays. Like, I know that I could have gotten into a top school, but I just wanted to get to New York City and I wanted to be an artist and an actor. And like, looking back, part of me wishes I went to like a really cool school. But yeah, maybe someday. I never say, I'm not ruling it out. Like, I might go back to school in my 40s. Like, that's kind of the tentative plan right now, is to go back to school someday. I love these little chairs in the middle of the squares. Like, how cute are they? Like, I see people on their laptops writing. I see people hanging out with each other on the lawn. Like, oh, what I would give to go back to college someday and just be a student and learn full time. So I believe that the education system in the United States is very flawed. It's really designed for rich people who can afford an education. It's like not at all made available to everyone. It's kind of elitist, but I will say I love the idea of education. I love the idea of, that sounds weird. I love the idea of like going to university and being a student full time and just learning and writing essays and taking classes. Like, my Mercury and Gemini gets high off that. Like, there is no place I'd rather be than learning and gaining knowledge and getting information and then reporting back on it. Like, I love school. I love classes. I was a straight A student my whole life. I've always been such an avid, studious person. I just don't believe in the education system and the foundations of it in the US. I think it's just so flawed. It's too expensive. You know, I couldn't afford to go to school after a year, even with all my scholarships. It was just not possible for me. Even with financial aid, being raised by a single parent, being very poor growing up, it was just not possible for me. And I also made just different choices in my life going into performing arts. And I will say all of that really helped. Like, my foundational years being an actress, growing up in New York City, working all these jobs, learning how to work hard and be independent and be on my own. It is the foundation of why I am the person I am now, why I'm such a good business owner, why I'm such a good entrepreneur, a leader, a resilient, powerful person, is because of those foundational years living on my own in New York City and struggling. I learned so much during those years, but there is part of me that wonders, like, oh, I would have loved to have done this. And I know in the future, someday I will love to do this. Someday I will go to school full time once I have enough money in savings and I have the time and space, and, you know, probably in my balsamic lunar progression phase is when I will go back to school full time and do that. But right now I'm in a first corner lunar progression. You know, I'm just building up my career right now for the next 10 years. But then once we hit that, it'll be nice to kind of wind down and maybe go back to school someday in Europe where the education is free. Yes. Candace and I are just talking about how the Princeton boys here at Princeton are very nice looking. And I was telling Candace, like, if I were single, which I'm not, I'm proudly snagged my man young. Fucking picked him up at age 25 when he was at Columbia. My husband, I got him when he was at his master's at Columbia. But I met him that first semester of school. I picked him and I was like, you're mine. I'm snagging you. Because my husband is a keeper. He is a keeper. He is so special. They're just all like so polished and pulled together, and nice little Ralph Lauren sweaters. Like, I just really like the vibe. Studious, educated, nice, chivalrous people. All the guys have been holding doors for us. I'm just like, thank you. I really appreciate that. Let's continue on. This library is beautiful. Oh my God, they have an exhibition. Jeez. This is a nice university, let me tell you. I am inspired. I want to take a class when I get home. I want to sign up for a new class, not an entrance, oh no. There's a lot of lines out here. Nothing I love more than like a good bagel shop or a classic American deli. Like simple, good, simple ingredients, keep it simple, just cheese, tomato, lettuce on a bun. Like nothing I love more than that. So good. I found this little deli on the street here in Princeton and I was like, oh my God, we gotta stop, Candace. I'm like, go in here, I gotta check this place out. And with all that said, I hope you enjoyed today's vlog and you had fun with me and my friend Candace on our trip to New Jersey and New York. If you watched this far into the video, comment the bagel emoji. I'd love to see how many of you watched to the very end. I may continue this vlog series, I may not, depending on if you guys like these videos, if you want to see more of them going forward, let me know down below in the comments if you'd like to continue seeing these videos. But regardless, I hope you have a magical day. Definitely check out my free journal prompts and meditations down below in the description. Follow me over on Instagram, and I will see you next week in the next vlog. Have a wonderful, bagelicious day.